knock this out, all right? Are y'all feeling good? Are y'all feeling great? Are you ready for your final comedian? Your final comedian has a new record coming out called Nice Jokes for Smart People. Please put your hands together for my dude, Arthur Guest!
San Francisco originally? Yeah, like one full, right? Because that's how this works. Have you ever had this happen to you? Like, oh, you're from San Francisco? Do you feel like a unicorn? Which is like an offensive question, because if you are going to compare me to a mythical beast, at least have the decency to make it a cool mythical beast, right? Like the chupacabra, whose name means goat sucker. Or the jackalope, whose name means run away to get married while masturbating. You see what I did? Jackalope, right? Because that's all. It wasn't even like a hard joke. I was just checking in to see how you guys are doing, and like you guys are not stoned, and that's good, right? Jackalope. All I did is I took the mythical beast and I made it into a portmanteau. Yeah, you know what a portmanteau is, right? We live in the golden age of the portmanteau, and some of you don't know what a portmanteau is. When you take two words and you smash them together, you make a new word, right? Like, you know, like hangry, that's when you're angry, but really you're just hungry. Yeah, or like a guesstimate, that's an estimate, that's really just kind of a guess. Or like ginormous, which is when someone has an enormous vagina. Okay, so... So here's the other stupid question I get asked. They're like, oh, you live your whole life in San Francisco. Do you have like one favorite day? Like one favorite crazy, magical, madcap, only in San Francisco day? Which is like such a stupid question, because of course I have a favorite San Francisco day. June 28, 2010. Because on June 28, 2010, Spain won the World Cup. And San Francisco had the Gay Pride Parade. Exactly. Picture, if you will, punchline, the streets of San Francisco choked to capacity with jubilant straight Spaniards and jubilant gay Americans, and like nobody able to tell which is which, right? Just like shoulder to shoulder guys in like capri pants and like really expensive sunglasses. Just like, this is a glad down my life. It's a big day for lisping and flag waving is what I'm trying to say. That's really a Castilian Spanish joke. I just want to say here is the best part about like being from San Francisco, right? Or the greater Yay area if you speak hyphy, right? Unlimited access to use of the word hella. Unlimited access, right? Right? For those of you that don't know, if you're from out of town or whatever, hella in the local nomenclature means anything. Anything you want it to mean, absolutely anything, can be described accurately, quantitatively, or qualitatively by the word hella. Right, so, for example, you could be like, oh man, check out that park, it's got hella puppy friends, right? Or like, you could be like, man, Carrie Fisher, whatever, she hella dead, right? So, hella dead. She's not gonna be like, I know that guy joke, she's dead. Hella dead. Okay. So using this word, I have created a new word, and that word is hella-gone. It has two definitions. Definition number one, when you or someone else is very, very intoxicated. You dudes, you gotta call me a cow, I'm hella-gone, right? Definition number two, a geometric shape that has hella sides. Right? Pentagon, octagon, hella-gone, right? Your friend didn't even stick around for that, man. Yeah, I outsmarted her. She's hella-gone, man. Hell out of here, man. I grew up in Haight-Ashbury, right? Hippie place, right? Which is like a great. It's a fun place to grow up. With one key drawback, when you grow up in like the land of hippies, you can't make fun of anyone for being soft, right? Unless they grew up in Marin or Berkeley, right? I had this one friend and he went to the Berkeley public schools and he was telling me about how in the Berkeley public schools now they have this like anti-bullying program, and I was like, dude, did you need it were there Berkeley bullies in the Berkeley schools when you were going to school in Berkeley? He's like, yeah, actually, dude, there were Berkeley bullies in the Berkeley schools when I was going to school in Berkeley. I was like, okay, well, can you tell me about the Berkeley bullies in the Berkeley schools when you were going to school in Berkeley? He's like, okay, I'll tell you about the Berkeley schools when I was going to school in Berkeley. And he goes, okay, so down at the basketball court, there was this gang of Tibetans. And that's where I got to cut him off! I don't mean to be pedantic, but I'm pretty sure that a gang of Tibetans is called a monastery, right? Okay, look, I tell you that to tell you this, right? You missed some really good jokes, right? I was taking the train to the show, and I saw this woman, you know the type, head-to-toe athleisure wear, right? She looks like an unemployed acrobat, right? And like, tucked under her right arm, like an AK-47, her yoga mat, right? And over her left shoulder was a cloth canvas bag, and on this cloth canvas bag was screen printed the words, "Namaste, bitches." Now, look, it's been a long time since I was a freshman at UC Santa Cruz, so my ancient Sanskrit is not as good as it used to be. However, I am under the impression that the word namaste translates to a concept that kind of means something like, the light in me honors the light in you, bitches. Right? It's very hard for me to imagine a set of circumstances in which it would be okay to say to somebody, namaste, bitches, right? Like, the only thing I can think of, really, is like a Tibetan monastery / Arizona State sorority house, you know what I mean? Dear bitches of Om Mani Padme Om, as you know, this weekend is the Festival of the Ancestors, and as social chair of Om Mani Padme Om, it is my job to remind all underclassmen Om Mani Padme Om bitches are expected to be up at 7 in the morning this Saturday, either praying, chanting, lighting prayer flags, or hanging butter lamps. And if any of you dumb bitches show up this year looking like a fat sacred cow, so help me God, I will kick you in the crotch so hard that you will never be reincarnated and break the unending cycle of death and rebirth. Do I make myself clear? Love, McKaylee. Namaste, bitches. Okay, so I just had a kid, right? And here's the thing. So I'm a new dad, right? And it's like, it's weird. People think it's weird that you have a kid in San Francisco, but I grew up here, so this shit is all normal to me, right? And I understand that there are some adjustments, you know? It's like, I get that. Like, for example, like, here's one. If you want to talk to me about the kid after the show, that's fine. But please, do not use the news of my kid as a springboard, an opportunity to talk about your dog. Okay? Like, I don't know what it's like, oh, well, you have a baby, that's a lot of responsibility, but I know about responsibility because I have a puppy. Okay, so did you have trouble going back to work when you were still breastfeeding your puppy? It's not the same thing. It's just not the same. It's just not the same thing. It's like, look, if you call me up to go over to your house to meet your new puppy, and then 6 months later you call me up again and I go over to your house and there's like no puppy and no explanation, like, yeah, I might have a couple of questions around the edges, but we can still hang out. But if you call me up to go over to your house to meet your new baby, and then 6 months later you call me up again and I go over to your house and there's no explanation and no baby, I'm calling the cops, lady. This is how this works. Second thing, it is okay to ask if I had a boy or a girl. Okay, I had a girl, right? See, that was easy, right? It's fine. You can ask me, right? And people were worried, because when my wife was pregnant, they didn't know how to ask. We didn't know if we wanted. They said, they had this woman, she goes, oh, wow. So do you know the do you know the gender? She goes, do you know what style of baby you're having? Well, my wife wants Italian neorealism, but I'm holding out for French New Wave. I get it. There's some adjustments that have to be made if you have a kid in San Francisco. Like, for example, I really feel no need to teach this kid about farm animals, right? Look, if you see a goat in San Francisco, something really bad is about to happen to that goat. Like, he's about to get sacrificed in some ritual by some tech guy, right? I get it. Like, some adjustments have to be made, right? So, like, I'll show you what I'm talking about, right? Sing along if you know, right? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The old lady on the bus says, "Hey, back door, hey, back door, hey, back door." The old man on the bus says, "You think I'm crazy? You pay $6